Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to CAN TV. My name is Art Sims, and I'm here tonight representing IMD Guesthouse Foundation. And with me this evening are my colleagues.
Joanie Vernasco, Director of Business Operations.
Gabriella, Accetto, House Manager.
Ladies, I am so excited for us to be here tonight. I am honored to be a part of such an amazing team. But before we go any further, Joanie, I was wondering if you could actually explain to us the history of Guesthouse.
Sure. So Guesthouse has been around about 24 years. We were started to help families who are traveling into Chicago for their treatment. So what we do is we provide temporary lodging for patients and their families, like I said, traveling to Chicago and have to have any type of treatment. We work with Rush University Medical Center, University of Illinois Healthcare and Sciences, University of Chicago, Cook County Stroger Hospital, and we also work with Gift of Hope and American Cancer Society. So with all of those organizations combined, we're really able to get out there and help not only people traveling, but also Chicagoans who need to be closer to their hospital during important treatment.
Very good. The most important question a lot of people would ask, where are we located? We're actually located at the corner of Polk and Damon. 809 South Damon is our vanity address. Our business address is 1933 West Polk Street. We're nestled right in the southeast corner of that intersection. Gabi, how long have you actually been with Guesthouse?
I've been with Guesthouse about 5 years.
And what has your experience been since you've been at Guesthouse? You're the house manager, so I'm sure it's been a lot of things to remember. So what has your experience been like?
My experience at the Guesthouse it's been wonderful. The staff and patients who stay with us they become family, and we try to make their stay as comfortable as possible, and throughout the years I think we've succeeded every time. So
very good. Joanie, as the Director of Operations, how long have you been there? And then I want to find out, what brought you to Guesthouse?
Sure. So I've been with the Guesthouse for 7 years. Prior to being with Guesthouse, I was with a partner organization who used to sponsor rooms. And when I moved back to Chicago, and because we had rooms at Guesthouse, I would come a couple times a week, work with them, volunteer with Jan, our volunteer coordinator, and really got to love the organization. So when I transitioned out of the other nonprofit and I came to Guesthouse, it was really great because I got to bring all that experience, but also merge it with the community and the staff that was here.
Very good. Well, I've been with you guys almost a year now, and I just want to say you both are absolutely amazing. I've come to love the team at Guesthouse. We're a small staff of people, but a mighty staff of people. And how I first became familiar with Guesthouse, one of my dear friends, the late Mr. Mr. Christopher Moore, here in Chicago, we all called him Big Shug. He was the host of the entertainment night at the famed Cotton Club here in Chicago. And Chris had went through his health challenges, needed to stay near a hospital, and Guesthouse was the place that he was staying. And when he contacted me to tell me about it, I was like, oh, I've never heard of this place. And he was just talking about how wonderful the staff was, how it just made him feel like he was loved and appreciated by everybody there, and it was really touching. Fast forward years later, our wonderful Director of Development, Dion Nicole Smith, she was there. She mentioned to me about it. I've featured Guesthouse on several of the shows that I've worked on, and so I just thought it was great. And then when Dion called and said there was an opportunity to work with you two, I said, you've got to be kidding me. And here we are, family now. And I must say, ladies, it's been a wonderful journey. And what I've learned most importantly is just the aspect of how we change people's lives. When I first started there, I'll never forget one of the first phone calls that I took was from a couple who was here from North Carolina. The wife went into labor in the bathroom of a wedding reception. Ended up having their baby. They did not know anybody in Chicago. They were in town for literally 48 hours, no relatives, just thought they were coming to Chicago to have fun. And just knowing that I was able to hear their story, offer them, accommodations and any other services that we may be able to have. And it just was really life-changing for me and such a blessing, I'm sure, for them. Ladies, I know you also have such rich stories that you want to share about Guesthouse as well.
I do. Well, we both do. So, again, been with Guest House for 7 years, and I've had the great opportunity to work with people from all around the world and from all our different hospitals. When I first started, I worked very closely with the Rush Road Home program, which treats veterans who are getting intensive outpatient treatment for PTSD. And what we do a little different with them is we would come in on the weekends to make sure that either Gabi or myself were the ones, and now Art, who handle their check-in. And by doing that, we took that extra care to make sure that they're already really stressed out, and this took off kind of just a layer of it. So I've met so many interesting men and women who have served our country and really gave more than anyone really should. Some of my favorite stories involve the service dogs, because I'm a very big dog person. And we have had everything from a veteran who had a Mastiff that was topping off at like 220 pounds to one of our female veterans had a diabetic alert dog, and she was a tiny little Chihuahua. So whereas we don't allow pets, we do have service dogs with us all the time. And it's really magical to see the difference they make in our veterans' lives. Very good. Gabi, I know you have a great story as well.
Well, I do have a few. The first story is we had Miss Gwen, and she was amazing. I will never forget the first time I met her. She kind of scared me a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. But after that, it was just a smooth sailing. The doctors told her that, her cancer wouldn't get better, and she did get better, and she was able to leave. And during that time, me and her shared many memories, and we kind of were like the Rapunzels of Damon Street Corner. So, yes. And then another, my mom as well is a kidney transplant survivor. So the Guest House really helped us at that time when she was going through that process for 4 years.
Mm-hmm. So. Very good. Very good. Great stories, ladies. And I'm sure you guys as our audience understand the importance of some place for people to stay when they are going through medical treatment. Now, ladies, what I really do want to talk about is some of our rules and regulations. Joanie, how does one go about staying at Guest House?
Sure. So like I mentioned earlier, we are partnering with a number of hospitals and programs that can refer patients. They sponsor the rooms. So a social worker, nurse navigator, physician's assistant, it really can be anyone on your medical team needs to contact us if they don't already have one of our referral forms, and we'll email it out to them. It's a great fillable PDF, and they'll fill it out. And what this tells us is that who you are, how long you need to stay, who your family's coming with you, and that ensures that everyone staying at the Guest House is staying there because they need to be there for medical reasons. We work on a sliding scale. We don't turn anyone away based on financial reasons, and you can't say the same for the big hotels. So that's why we want to make sure that everyone coming is here for medical reasons, and we get that referral. We'll give you a call, confirm everything, and then let your social worker, whoever referred you, know that you're good to go and you're staying with us.
Absolutely. Gabi, as we both know, our fearless leader is always running around doing a million things in the course of a day. She's an amazing woman. She does everything, you guys. Gabi and I are really on the front line of taking the referrals, submitting them in, taking the phone calls and returning the calls to people. So Gabi, let's talk a little bit about that process of once we get the referrals and how it all works.
Yeah. So once we get the referral, after we process it into our system, it takes probably like 5 minutes. We'll go ahead and call the patient, and we'll let them know if we have availability or not. If we do have availability for them, we'll go ahead and go through the confirming process, which will go through making sure all their information is correct, making sure we have an active phone number, an active email address, and then we go to see, they have a caregiver, family coming with them, and again, we are one of the places that allow the patient's family to stay with us even if the patient is not staying with us. So we'll grab that information, we'll go down to the the cost of the room. So our flat rates, our sponsoring rates start off at $72 a night, and then we offer financial assistance. And the financial assistance is different for everyone. And that's when me and Art will declare if this is a special case, then they need a little extra love, then we'll we give it to them.
I love that. That is very good. We give extra love. We do. Ladies, I want to talk to you both about something that we always kind of, have to cover with our guests, reassure our guests about. We are not housing. We are considered lodging. Can you explain how that works?
Sure. So one thing that people get really mixed up is housing versus lodging. So we want to make it very clear that this is temporary. You need to come into Chicago for cancer treatment. Maybe you're getting a hip replacement over at Midwest Orthopedics and you need to stay a few nights. Or you have a checkup, but the doctor wants you there at 7 a.m. and you live down in Peoria. That's temporary. Now, we do have longer stays based on need, so solid organ transplants like Gabi's mom had. We'll see those patients a few months. Heart transplants are here for a very long time. Still temporary. We're talking about things a year or less. Most people don't even go near a year. That's a heart transplant. Hopefully no one out there needs that. But we're here if you do. So we, then you look at housing, and housing is more of, there's a fire and I lost my apartment. Now I need to find a new apartment. So I'm looking for a permanent place to live. That is not us. We do require that everyone who stays with us has a permanent address that they can go home to. And that is simply so that when it is your treatment is done and it is your time to go home, you are able to go home and we can get that apartment ready for the next family that needs it.
Absolutely. That's a great explanation, as well as I tell every guest after their visit, once we fall in love with each other, I'm coming to visit. So you've got to have a permanent address for me to come visit you at. You have to. Gabi, I want to talk a little bit about our wonderful rooms. We're going to show pictures in just a few moments about our rooms. How many apartments do we have, and what are the dynamics of the apartments?
We have about 47 rooms, I'm sorry. We have 47 rooms. Each apartment is a little bit different than the next, but we have a few 2-bedroom units, and then the regular is 1-bedroom units with a couch that pulls out or a futon. All of our units are equipped with a kitchenette, bathroom, bedroom, and living room area. There's no common spaces for sleeping arrangements or for bathroom arrangement. Like, there's no sharing it with anybody besides the people that you're coming with.
Mm-hmm. You're offered your own private accommodations, and you really cannot beat that. That's really great. Whenever the control room gets it ready, we would love to show some of the pictures of our rooms and what they're like. We appreciate you guys so much for this. This is what our living room looks like. As you see, we do our best to have the most modern decor in our rooms. We believe in rooms that are very light and airy. The rooms come with air conditioning and heat that would be controlled, not only by the building, but you have a thermostat in your room. We can go to the next picture. Thank you so much. This is what our living room looks like. Most of our rooms come with a sofa that is a let-out sofa. A lot of the rooms do come with a reclining chair. Some do not, but we try our best to accommodate our guests with the reclining chairs. And believe it or not, ladies, as we both all know, people love the reclining chairs.
Oh, they love
them. They love them. My late dad used to love his, so I understand why. Let's continue on with our pictures if we could. This is what our kitchen looks like. This is a really wonderful kitchen. We use electric stove because of us being in a high-rise building. It comes with a microwave, coffee maker, a full-size refrigerator. So I often suggest to the guests, if you're coming from out of town and you love certain foods or you like certain things, go shopping before you come visit us, and that way you have a complete kitchen to do what you need to do in it. Can we continue with our slide, please? Thank you. This is what our living room looks like. Complete dining table, chairs. We try our best to put beautiful and appropriate artwork up on the walls because we do want you to be as comfortable as possible. Continue to move forward, please. And this is what the bedroom looks like. Now, I would jump in that bed immediately. I would. That's a very comfortable bed. How do we select the furniture for Guest House? Is it donated to us? Do we buy it? How does that all work?
So we purchase all our furniture. Every now and then we may have something that is donated, but most of it is purchased. What I try to do when I'm ordering the furniture is think, what, within reason, what would I like in my house. So is this couch comfortable? Is the bed comfortable? And as someone who, during a really bad snowstorm, did stay at the guest house myself, I can attest those beds are very comfortable. And I try to, when we're picking out the linens, find bedspreads that are nice and colorful, because so many people are spending so much time in the hospitals every day, and they don't want to come back to a sterile environment. So we try to bring them back to comfort and warmth and happiness.
Beautiful. Well, ladies, I'm so glad you brought that up, Joanie, because, I think everybody thinks that, we're just maybe so, quiet, but we like to have fun, and we like for our guests to have fun as well, too. But I think what's so important is that we discuss kind of some of the rules and regulations of how it all works at Guest House. I know smoking, can be a big issue for people. Can we talk a little bit about the rules and regulations when it comes to smoking?
Sure. So we are on the campus of University of Illinois at Chicago. They're a non-smoking campus. Therefore, our building, also because we have immune-compromised people, is a non-smoking building. So if anyone who stays with us is a smoker, and that is vape, tobacco, and anything else, you do need to go outside and do that. So we're very strict on that. Our other rules are common courtesy. Be friendly and courteous to staff and to other patients. And like I said earlier, we do allow service dogs, but we don't just allow pets. And again, that is for the care and comfort of our immune-compromised patients and families.
Very good. And just so you guys know, we are in a very safe and secure building that is monitored by guards or staff 24 hours a day. You must present your key to be able to enter into the building. Your name is on a list. We know a lot of people come from places that they're like, oh, I'm so petrified of Chicago, or I don't, oh my goodness, I've been watching the news. We do our very best to keep you as safe as possible, but also realize you are in a major metropolis as well, too. Gabi, what are some of the other rules that come to your mind that we kind of want people to remember?
There just no partying, no throwing major ragers in our units, but also treating the unit like how you would treat your own home. These rooms, when you check in, they're very clean, they're very tidy, nothing's broken. Something happens during your stay, please, we ask them that they let us know. We ask the patients to let us know. And we just ask that it doesn't look like the Rolling Stones visited us. That's all.
Very good. Well, Gabi, I noticed that you mentioned we don't have any raves or any parties or anything like that, but we do exciting and wonderful things to make sure our guests are entertained. Let's kind of talk about our Thursday night dinner. Let's talk about some of the different themes and things that we've had over the years. Go right ahead, Joanie.
Yeah, so we have an amazing volunteer program, and one day on this show you're going to meet our fearless volunteer coordinator, Jan Crochelle, and she does an amazing job getting companies, families, volunteers, just and all walks of life in. And on Thursday evenings, they prepare a meal for our guests. And our guests have the option of eating in with staff and volunteers, or picking it up and taking it back to their room. And that's so important, because I may have just gotten home from a lung transplant, and as much as I want to be where all the fun is, I can't. Maybe in a couple weeks. And so we have had everything from Italian night, we do barbecues a couple times a year. This Thursday, a couple of our guests who are from Puerto Rico have a Puerto Rican restaurant coming and doing a full meal. And so those are really fun things that we get to do to share our cultures, to share our love. Gabi and I are both part Italian, so cooking for people is showing them you love them, and we have both in art on multiple occasions been able to be the ones to make the meals. We also have breakfast bags once a week where we put like a continental breakfast in a bag, and anyone who asks for it, it gets hung on their door. Cookies constantly. So don't try to come to the guest house and lose weight, because we will feed you cookies and chips. And today there was toffee. So there's always something. And Gabi does a great job with arts and games.
Yes, let's talk about some of the things that you do to keep the guests moving and entertained.
So once a month, 2 times a month, I try to volunteer, either doing craft night or do bingo night. Our guests really love bingo night. And we we just play all night until all the prizes are gone, or we craft all night until, they're tired. That's pretty much how
All
it
night's
goes.
normally 7:30.
Yeah.
Yeah,
7:30.
it's an early evening.
Yeah.
It is. Yes, it is. I want to talk about some of the guests who we currently have with us right now who have just become our ambassadors. I think about our beautiful friends Ray and Ida.
Yes.
I think about, just other people that really have stepped up, become the voices of Guest House, and we're truly appreciative of them. Would you ladies like to elaborate a little bit about our wonderful guests?
Sure. So as Art mentioned, Ray and Ida are our wonderful couple from Puerto Rico doing the dinner just in 2 days. And Ida came to us, actually, Ray had to be taken into Chicago for a very severe illness. And it was an emergency, and she was calling everywhere trying to find a place. And she'll tells the story so much better than I do. But that day when she called, actually, Gabi was swamped, Art was swamped, so I actually picked up the phone, as Art mentioned before. I don't always do that. And I was able to pick up the phone, and we had a room for her, and they have been with us, and it has been amazing to see Ida by herself to Ida with Ray, who is using assistance to walk and had a mask on, and now he's Mr. Fix-It. He's going to put me out of a job, I think, because if he keeps fixing things, what am I going to do?
Stay there and keep loving on people like we always do. That's what we're going to do. Yes, it is really wonderful to know that we just have such a wonderful, loving couple that, oftentimes we don't think that they're there for medical treatment. We just think they're
Right.
extra family that helps us out. Did you want to say something about Ray and Ida as well?
They are helping me learn Spanish. No, they're just very loving people, and it just feels like they just feel like extra family members that you see all the time. So.
Absolutely. We want to remind the audience that the Guest House is a part of the 2023 Bank of America Marathon. We participated last year, had a wonderful team, and we're doing it all over again this year. So if you are a fan of the Bank of America Marathon and or want to be a runner, please make sure you reach out to us at guesthousechicago.org and come be a part of that. We have a wonderful party. We are always trying to raise funds and raise awareness. Ladies, I'm trying to think, is there anything else that we kind of need to cover? We did a good job, I thought. I think so too. Want to remind everyone that we are on social media. Please follow Guest House. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram and Twitter. You following us helps us so much because we're trying to build our name, build our brand here in Chicago, and we really do want to support you in your efforts. So if you could, please follow us on all of our social media platforms, Guest House Chicago, and we're there. Please follow us, Guest House. You'll love it. And also go to our website whenever you get a moment, guesthousechicago.org. All right, ladies, what else do we want to say?
I would anyone out there watching, if you want to be part of this family, come cook a dinner for our guests. They would love it.
Just thank you for listening to us.
Absolutely. I'm Art Sims. This is Joanie. This is Gabi. On behalf of Guest House, we represent the guest service department of the company, and we truly appreciate you taking your time out of your evening to watch us this evening. We'll be back again next month. We want to wish everyone a wonderful back-to-school season. Stay safe, stay wonderful, and we'll see you next time.
I'm Nicole Smith, Director of Development for the Guest House.
My name is Paul Smith, and I'm here today to support the IMD Guest House Foundation. We've been trying to become a supporter of the marathon for a number of years.
I'm Jan Crucial. I'm the Manager of Volunteers and Programming at the Guest House. I love being a part of serving and being there for people in a way that is supportive to them during a really crucial time in their life. Go Guest House!
We're a wonderful critical charity.
We're there to provide some comfort, some release from stress and anxiety. We love what we do. I love what I do. I'm so proud to be here.